Brevin, I lived in Las Vegas from 1995 to 1997.
Okay.
It was right when Mike Tyson got out of jail. And he had just come back to fight, and his first fight back was Peter McNeely, and I was living there, and I went to that fight. I went to the Selden fight, the Bruno fight, the Holyfield fight. I mean, I saw a great fight. When he was the baddest man on the planet, when he would enter the ring, there was an adrenaline in the building like I've never felt in an arena before.
Right.
Amazing times.
Yes.
Amazing memories.
I wasn't there, but I remember him from TV.
Yeah, amazing memories. So the other night, Friday night, he's going to fight, right? Jake Paul. And we had a game. We were playing the Golden State Warriors. And I decided during the game, I was going to just check on Twitter. And the first thing I see is Grandpa Tyson's ass. And I thought to myself, baddest man on the planet?
He's 58. He's 58 now.
And then I thought, he's 58 years old. What are we doing?
Yes. Yes.
And I'm glad I didn't watch the fight because according to all reports, it wasn't much of a fight.
Well, I'm going to give you the report. It wasn't. We're watching the game.
You're a multitasker.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
So I put it up, and the game was, let's be real, at this point, the game was starting to get out of hand.
Yeah.
So we put up on the phone just there off to the side. And when I tell you, it looked like two kids out there playing around. But these were adults and people paid money to go watch this.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is what it was. It was absolutely ridiculous.
I'm glad I didn't see it.
Be very glad, because unfortunately it is etched in my mind.
Because my memories of Tyson fighting are amazing. So, yeah, I'm glad I didn't see it. Welcome, everyone, to Night Court. I'm Rob Fisher. He's Brevin Knight. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast. You can listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch this podcast each and every week on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Just search Night Court and you'll be able to watch this episode and each episode each and every week. And if you are watching, we thank you for watching as well. All right, so the Grizzlies week.
What type of words you have for this?
I got 4 words this week.
I got to hear these.
I think I'm going to start over next week.
We're going back down?
Because it's getting hard. I mean, I even kind of cheat on one today.
All right, what we got?
At the Lakers. A lot of good things.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of good things.
Went to Golden State. Too many missed threes.
Boy, couldn't hit the side of a barn.
It was awful.
And until the end of the game, they finished well.
Yeah.
But you're right about the beginning.
It was bad. And then Denver took care of business in game 1.
Yes.
And then in game 2, outworked, outplayed. I'm using those as 4 words.
That's 4 words.
Outworked, outplayed.
Yeah, put the hyphen. That counts in my book. All 4, I think you hit on the head. The Lakers game, LeBron James goes for another triple-double.
He was amazing. He's ridiculous.
He was what we thought.
I can't stand any more people who want to discount anything that he's done.
I don't think that you can discount anything.
Right?
I mean, he's just been a winner at all times. And so you give him his credit. Then you said the Golden State game. There was just the inability to make shots.
Yeah.
In that game was really the calling card. But it was also, we saw what makes the Warriors such a good team, and is that word team is back for them.
Yeah, and the Grizzlies had. This is how I kind of explained it to somebody. The Grizzlies had Dez back that night. Vince came back that night. Luke was playing in his second game. Marcus, I think, was playing in his second game.
Right.
So you had a bunch of new people. And to me, it looked like you just had a bunch of people.
Exactly. It
didn't look like there was really a chemistry.
Right. It was just, okay, well, now let's put this guy in, put this guy. And it was, like you said, they couldn't find a rhythm. But conversely, the Warriors didn't allow them to find a rhythm.
Yeah.
Like they were good.
Yeah. In the Warriors game too, I wanted to ask you because I always I'm a person who I love what I do, and I feel very lucky when I get to like meet certain people, like hanging out with you. I feel very lucky to have a friend like you, Brevin. Because I was as a kid such a sports fan, a fanatic. I mean, I was the crazy fanatic kid up until I was like 19 when I started working at radio, and it just ended for me, right? So when I get to see people and meet people and talk to people, it's to go up and say hello to Vince Carter is mind blowing to me still, and it's awesome. So the other night I'm watching during our pregame show, and you're just sitting there chatting with Steph Curry. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. I mean, Steph Curry's one of the greatest players to ever play this game, one of the greatest scorers to ever play the game, the greatest shooter to ever play the game. And you're just shooting the shit with him as they're supposed to be in a layup line getting ready for a game. I just want to know, and you don't have to go into detail, but, what's that conversation like with Steph? How do you know Steph, first of all?
Well, because of Del Curry being back in Charlotte,
right,
and playing back there, and they grew up in Charlotte,
right,
and then also playing golf at times, and so it's been I've known them for a long time, just from that Charlotte connection, and then now it's just to still see him. And tell you the number one thing I told him was, like, bro, this is the strongest I've ever seen you in your career. Physically, how fit he is and how defined he's become. And he was like, it's what keeps him, it's what's allowed him to stay at the top of his game, and be able to do it night in and night out the way that he's able to do it.
Yeah.
And then we just talked about some other things other than that, but I guess there are very few of those guys that I do it with. And the ones that I have that relationship, I enjoy it. It's fun, and you just get to a point where, to me, it's not Steph Curry, the shooter, the superstar, right, the great. It's Steph Curry, the father. It's Steph Curry, the golfer. It's
the kid from Charlotte.
The kid from Charlotte, whose story was similar in that people didn't know who he was. He had to work to get where he is, and so that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoy when we had those quick moments also.
Yeah, that was awesome. The thing is, we normally do the show on Tuesday, and they seem to blow on Tuesdays. Now we do the show on a Wednesday, and they decided to change their schedule this week.
Well, I'm gonna have to go ask him politely to just go to the front probably here in a minute. That's how we could do it around here.
All right, the 2-game set with Denver. The first one a win, played really well. It was one of those team efforts, team wins, took care of business, got a big lead, kind of held them at arm's bay the whole way. And just Chris Vernon, I think, said it best. There was nothing memorable about that game, really. No. It was just a good, went out and beat the other team game.
Yeah, and I thought that's what they had to do, because you get you knew Aaron Gordon was going to be out,
right,
and then you get the late word that Jokic is going to be out. So there could have been a mental letdown,
right,
to say like, oh, okay, now they're not as good without those guys. But I thought they did a great job of playing physical, defensively. They really were physical against Jamal Murray, and because of that allowed them to really be involved in the basketball game, and they cut down the fast break points after the first half.
Yeah.
First half they had 19 fast break points. The second half they had 3, and so that was a big change in that game.
How do you feel? How should we feel at this point in the season? Memphis sitting at 9-2 with really no mathematical chance of AAC championship.
How do I feel about 9-2? Okay, not great.
Yeah,
not even really good. In a conference like that, where you clearly have bad enough product to have 6 different coaches being fired and them looking for new leadership, you should be at the top of that conference, first or second, every single year. To not have shown up at an AAC championship since 2019, since the Cotton Bowl year. It's frustrating. I feel okay about 9-2, but I don't feel good by any stretch of the imagination. It should be better. I know how hard it is to win college football games. Like I completely understand that. I lived it. And I like part of me feels like a complete asshole.
Yes,
and down 9 or 10 wins. Like I feel like a complete douchebag.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, I'm just looking at the checklist items that you need as a program to be a champion.
Yeah.
And this program has it all. You have to ask yourself, well, what more do we need to reach that level?
Right.
And I don't have an answer for that.
I think that's the difficult part, right? Is you
have everything you need to go win championships. Why aren't you?
Right.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I need my clown nose for Draymond Green. Where is he at, man? I need my clown nose.
All-time clown. But also, we say what we want to say about Draymond. He's also one of the smartest basketball savants that we've ever seen. And
because he learned how to pass the ball to Steph and Clay?
Stop, man. Stop. Don't do that. You're talking about one of the all-time great defenders.
Because he learned how to, I'm going to set a moving screen and pass the ball to the greatest three-point shooter who ever lived.
To commit moving screens.
I'm going to set moving screens and pass the ball. He also blew up the fucking team by beating on his own teammate, the basketball savant that he is.
Hey, man, stop hating on Draymond, bro.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Another cool thing about Sunday's game, the Sounds jerseys.
Yes.
You and I made some purchases.
I see you one of those. I buy it, I wear it.
I buy it, I wear it. This is the old Sounds hat.
I see you cut, but
because it's got Adidas on it. You like the top of this?
I like how I had that Memphis. That's
cool.
Sold me on that. I like that.
Cool. And it's got a little Grizzlies on the side. Yeah, it's not. I like the G. I like the G logo.
G-note.
The G note. I got a G hat, baby blue G hat. So we bought a bunch of stuff. Sounds jerseys look great.
They do. Donovan wanted a jersey. I knew that's when it was something good.
Yeah. The jerseys look great. It was awesome. Also, the big fella, Zach Edey.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I don't want to do that to Zach Edey.
No, I'm glad.
We talk about him a lot on the show. We know what he's capable of. He rolled his ankle pretty good.
Yes.
And then rolled it again, I guess, or just kind of stepped wrong.
Like it buckled again later in the game, and that was the one where when he made when you hear a person scream out that's when it for real hurts.
Yeah.
It wasn't like big fella went down. And that's a lot of weight down that's putting on those lower legs, but. Hopefully he didn't have to wear a boot or anything, so that was nice to see him not in that, and because he in the games that he has played, he's been a force for this team, and it's in different ways. Sometimes it's finishing around the basket, sometimes it's blocking shots, sometimes the presence of just being on that end of the floor, on the defensive end, slows teams or stops them from attacking as much. So. It's the time of him being away. It'll be missed.
Yeah, and it's a new term that the Grizzlies have discovered on injury reports, week to week. Which I don't like it because what does that mean? I mean, Zach Edey's week to week. Is he a week or 2 weeks? Because a week or 2 weeks is a big difference, or is it 3? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Well, I think, and it also just opens up for questions week to week.
Right.
I mean, if you know that it'll be longer. I mean, who knows? Then for me it would be I want to minimize how many times I got to answer this question.
Yeah.
Because if I know it's going to be longer than 1 week, then let's say longer than 1 week.
Yeah.
So next week when we're doing a conference, they're like, so how is Zach Edey's progression. Where's he at? And I answer you. Well, where do you think he'll be next week? I guess I answer you next week.
Yeah, and if it's week to week, it's 6 days? No, he's not. I mean, it's at least a week.
Somewhere, I think that
know.
means somewhere within the week, and then it's somewhere within 14 days, and then it's somewhere within 21 days.
Yeah, and then Tuesday, Vince Williams goes down with a real bad ankle roll. He's week to week. I don't know if that's true, but I assume.
Oh,
that's what it'll
I
be.
didn't know. I didn't.
I assume that's what he's going to be because that was bad.
Yeah, his was, and just the way that he looked down at it, that it didn't look good. When we showed it on the replay, it was like, those replays, you just need to see it half of a time, and you don't want to see it again. That's what I'm like. I don't need to see it from another angle to see if it looks different. Maybe it doesn't look as bad. No, it looked bad.
Yeah.
And then you feel bad for him because he just come back.
And a positive in that game, Santi Aldama, 28. He was good. I mean, he was hitting shots when the team couldn't hit shots.
We just need consistency. There's no question with Santi on, like, does he have the skill or can he do it? We saw what he did internationally with Team Spain, and so that is this year, in the first game of the year.
It's those 4-point games.
Yeah, there are too many of those.
Yeah.
And for someone to have the abilities that he has and is going to play the minutes that he's going to play, you don't want to have to be like it's tonight the night that he's up here or tonight the night he's down here. You kind of just want to be like it's the night that he's going to be here with the ability to go there.
Yeah.
And then, but it'll be back here. I think just getting him to be able to be there is good because there's no denying his talent. And what you said, he was the only reason why the Grizzlies stayed in the game.
Yeah.
Against Denver this last game.
This Denver game, the Grizzlies have 3 bad home losses: Brooklyn, Chicago, and this one. We're too early in the season to have that many bad home losses.
Yeah, and the other thing for me is, I talk about the 10-game sets.
Right.
They're 2-3 in this 10-game set. They were 6-4 in the first one. I said, if you can go 6-4 for an entire year, and then win those 2 games, or at least split those 2 games, it puts you at 49 or 50 wins. And that you can feel good about that. Now you're 2-3, and you don't want to. Why you're saying that for me is you don't want to have to look back so many times and say, "Man, what if we would have? Boy, we should have." Because we had that's what you don't want to have to say that too many times. And right now, the next 2 games for them, I think are critical for me in my 10-game sets mentality and trying to win with Philly and then trying to go to Chicago.
Yeah, and when you give games away or don't take games that you feel like you should, you want to make those up somewhere else. And you just don't want that list to get too long. Well, check off the Chicago one, and then keep going down the list.
Well, and so then you say in this short span, Philly, they had their team meeting, so I said it last night. Well, you're gonna see them come out and be inspired. Well, number one, who will play? Will Maxey play? I would guess Embiid would play because they've had the day off in between games. Paul George is playing, and so that that gives you. Or they're gonna be a team that if you come out, you just play harder than them. Use your pace to your advantage because it can be an advantage. It wasn't an advantage with Denver, but can be an advantage with Philly. You're able to do that. Do they just go back into, well, here we are still in this mode? And then Chicago is just a tough place to play.
Yeah.
They hit us for 25 threes the first time we played them. And so they'll be confident that they can win.
And then, you have a stretch here with Philadelphia, at Chicago, then Portland, Detroit, New Orleans at home.
That's why I said in this spot, in this next 5 games, you want to go 4-1.
Yeah.
And you have the opportunity to go 4-1. And you're saying within these next 5 games, maybe you see John Morant back into the lineup because his influence. It goes without saying.
Yeah.
Can help them in that fashion.
Yeah. All right. A couple of other things, NBA-wise. Wemby scored 50 against the Wizards. Had 8 threes. That's kind of exciting.
It's the worst of Wizards. But that was good for him. That was good. I was
Good for you to score 50 on the Wizards.
I just feel bad for those. I feel bad for those fans, man. I feel bad for them.
Oh, it's terrible. De'Aaron Fox scored 109 points in
Yes.
2 games, had 60 in a loss to Minnesota, and then followed it up with 49 in a win to the Jazz the very next night.
Listen, I turned them on. I made a fact. I got to turn this on and see what. And he's back. He's back to that downhill, getting into the paint, finishes. I said those lefties are very awkward with the way that they finish, how they move, because it's not what we're used to seeing as right-handed, and then still knocking down threes. Because remember, it's like he found a three-point shot, and he no longer went to the basket for a while. It was just he just came down and was gonna shoot threes. Well, he's going back to playing downhill and getting those inside the arc shots, and he is a monster right now.
Yeah. James Harden passed Ray Allen for second all-time in career three-pointers made.
It's just a different game. All of those records for guys that played in the era where, you know, maybe they were the guy on their team that shot the three. Teams weren't shooting 30, 35 threes a game. All of those records will be surpassed with the way that the game is going now. But you think about James Harden and the difference between him and Ray Allen. Ray Allen eventually became more of a spot-up three-point shooter, but he did a lot off the dribble in the beginning of his career. But James Harden, he probably have as many step-back threes as a lot of people are on the top of that list with regular threes.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. a move that people thought was illegal for so long.
Now everybody tries to do it.
Now everybody does. Absolutely. The Cavs dropped to 15-1. They lost to the Celtics.
To me, it's like they lost to people considered to be the NBA champs. That's in Boston. You know, when you're as good as Boston, you need something to get you going night in and night out.
Yeah.
And so to play against, you look across and say, oh, this is the team that everybody says now is our toughest challenge to be able to win it again. That gives a little different juice to the game, and we didn't see any of it because of our game, but I would guess that's what got them going for that one.
Yeah, Dalton connected on 9 threes against the Jazz. Jazz are in a lot of these things. Dalton connect 9 threes against the Jazz, a rookie record. How about that?
That's good. I was glad to see for him, not for us. When we played, you saw him do more than just stand at the three-point lines he did in the first game versus the Lakers. So if he can continue to be a scoring option for them off the bench, they're going to need as many people who can score off the bench as possible.
All right, to wrap up the NBA, are we ever going to win a cup game?
Oh, Lord. 0-6. I mean, and I had really, inside I really had really good feelings, but we talked about it on the pregame show, how hard it is to beat a team back-to-back.
Yeah.
And you get in Denver, they came out, they wanted it more.
Yeah.
They wanted it more. And you saw that right from the beginning.
College basketball, UMKC men's basketball program, University of Missouri, Kansas City.
Okay.
They set multiple records Monday night in a 119-19 win over
Lord.
Calvary University.
Come on, bro. Like these teams out here needing early season victories. That's almost like when I coached AAU and they want to play against these teams that were just atrocious, like playing these tournaments where it's like man, we can go out there and do whatever and win that. Like, what do we get out of
They're
this?
not even an NCAA team; they're an NCCAA team, which I don't even know what that means.
Is that a conference?
There are no scholarship players, nothing. I mean, it's just dudes. It's like a pickup team that they just play. I mean, good for them scoring 19.
Right, exactly.
Hey, we scored 19 over a Division I team.
They popping bottles and everything.
NFL, your Ravens lost again. What's happened to your Ravens ever since you became a fan?
That's how I brought the stink.
Yes,
for
you brought the Giants stink over to the Ravens.
Defensively they were fantastic.
Sure.
I mean, the problem was the first game that they just offensively couldn't get it done. Hey, it speaks to how good the Steelers are. It also speaks to how good the coach's name. See, I'm like you with names. Forget.
The Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. Look how good of a coach he is. Like, everybody every year is like, well, they can't do. Maybe it's time for them to move on. He just knows football more than everybody who talks about them knowing football.
They haven't won a playoff game in a long time.
Oh, that's a whole nother thing to
Be a
talk
good
about.
time for the Steelers to do that. Your old team, the Giants, are replacing Daniel Jones.
Yes.
With Tommy DeVito.
Tommy, I was about to say Dan.
Tommy DeVito is their new starting quarterback. Daniel Jones will be the third string quarterback for the Giants this week.
Wow.
Yes, that's what.
He's a clipboard holder.
I mean, I want us to start doing like the Jets. Just start firing people. I mean, it ain't going right. Just do something else. Fire the coach. Fire the GM. All of y'all gone. We got nothing has changed.
Do like Dion would do. Just get rid of everybody.
Get rid of bring in some people that's gonna help me win now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's a sad state for the New York Giants.
Yeah.
I mean, they have fallen to such depths. It's just sad.
This week, Indiana and Ohio State in football. Does it move the needle for you?
No.
No. Okay.
But I mean,
It's a good one,
listen, I know the coach. He got him a nice little. He got paid. A nice little pay bump.
He got paid.
And they asked him, "Did you think about waiting for other jobs?" Waiting. I mean, how much more money they gonna give me than they giving me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay right here.
Yeah. Also, wanted to talk about what we did. We talked last week about what we were doing in LA, and it was just kind of enjoying the sunshine more than anything. Anything in San Francisco. We had a sponsor dinner we went to, which was nice.
That was, you're being nice.
It was nice. Well, the company was nice. It was great.
Company was great.
Great company.
The restaurant was just
Shout out FedEx.
FedEx, yeah. That was the people that we had a great time with FedEx people.
That's right.
But the restaurant was not. I mean, the restaurant was trash. Customer service was awful. It just wasn't inviting. It just not for a group where that many people is gonna pay as much money as they're gonna pay. It just wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. And then I went to Ming's, of course, for lunch, which is a great place in San Francisco. Ming's.
Well, I went and golfed down in Stanford.
You went and golfed?
I went and golfed and had a great time. And I got me a new golf bag. That was so in my golf bags. I love Stanford.
What's it look like?
Oh, it's so sleek. It's black. We got the S on the front. We got the 22 on the side.
Oh.
I love my school.
Has your number on it?
Well, we got the nice 20. I enjoy my school.
He enjoys his school. That's beautiful. I'm glad you got to do that. I went to a coffee shop and got a coffee, which was like $3.50. I was very impressed.
That's good.
But it was only $3.50, but it was very small. But still, $3.50 coffee. I was happy. And then I got a cookie. They had a chocolate chip cookie that looked delicious. $6. What?
That's what they get. They got you on the cookie. Somewhere they're gonna get
what?
you.
My tab was $11. I was like, the coffee was $3.50.
Listen, after my 2 Uber rides, you know I like Ming's myself. After those 2 Uber rides, I got the free food from the team.
Yeah, I got the free coffee the next day because the line was too long.
Yeah, I went upstairs to the team lunch and got breakfast and lunch. And that's what I ate because the Uber rides. That's costly.
Yeah.
Going from San Francisco down to Stanford.
Yeah. All right, toast this week. I got a toast for you.
What you got?
Our police escort in Los Angeles that we had. We don't often get police escorts.
No.
But when we do, Brevin and I are like 2 children. We sit in the bus like this. Looking out the window,
watching what they do,
seeing what they're doing,
like,
seeing every move that they're making, and how they're. This one was incredible because we're driving in Los Angeles at like 5 o'clock. Oh my God! And we had like, we're like what, 8 cops?
I thought 6 to 8.
6 to 8, and they would scoot up and make like a pyramid, and just stop traffic. and we'd go flying through, and then all of a sudden they'd go do it again.
On the highway.
On the highway.
We're on the highway. They made everyone move out of the left lane as we went down, and so it was like we were in the lane, or maybe just the wheels maybe outside of the line on the left, but literally we're going down 10, and they are moving. The cars are moving, and I mean it was
incredible.
And we had the one that never. It was the one that just stayed in front of us the whole time. Like the other cops did all of the moving, and this one just kept us at this one pace. Yeah, it was like this. I was like, man, this is. Some people do this a lot.
And what's like college athletes. That makes no sense. What do they get recess square?
We saw that here.
Dude, they came to the airport from school. They came to the airport from school and had literally
10 cops, bro, on the motorcycle dudes.
Yeah.
And they pulled in. I was like, man, who is this? And Fish said, that's the University of Memphis. I said, of what? Football?
Football. Yeah.
Like to come from right over there?
Yeah.
20 minutes away?
Yeah. Yeah. We get it like if we stay at a hotel that's really nice, but it's far from the arena. And the coolest thing about it was not only were they awesome the way they maneuver and they get you through, they were on motorcycles. It was the California Highway Patrol. It was Chips.
It
was Ponch and John.
That's what.
And
they had the black boots.
And the black boots on. I mean. The helmets,
the gold helmet,
it was really cool, really cool to watch.
We paid attention.
Shout out to the CHP.
I don't do this too often though.
All right, that's all I got.
I don't think I have any toast this week. What else happened this week?
Okay.
That was it.
Yeah.
I got.
I don't know how long we went because our timer unexpectedly stopped in the middle of the show when Brevin went and yelled at the guy below and stuff.
Oh, don't say that. People got upset with him last time.
No, he didn't do that. He didn't. Brevin didn't do that.
It's my guy. I can't yell at him. I just asked so nicely. Can't go to the front and then come to the back later. I'm definitely not going to yell at my boy Rudy. I can't yell at him.
That didn't happen.
He takes care of us.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode of Night Court. Thank you for joining us here today. We appreciate it. And, of course, keep listening and tell your friends and tell your neighbors. Tell anybody who listens to podcasts. Tell them this is a good one. Also, if you aren't watching, you can watch. And if you are watching, thank you. And you can watch at the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Just search Night Court and you'll find it. And be able to watch the episode each and every week. For BK, I'm Fish. Thanks for joining us. This has been Night Court. We'll talk to you again next week.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Night Court podcast. If you enjoyed Rob and Brevin, hit that like button, subscribe to the Bluff City Media YouTube channel, and enjoy the content. We will see you back here next time.